Hey Damsels, welcome back to another episode of Damsels After Dark. If you're new here, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Kristen.
And in our corner of the internet, we rant, review, obsess, love on, hate on, all things books.
Today we'll be reviewing the second book in the, well, it'll be a trilogy. This will be The Hunter Heir by Holly Renee.
And if you're new to our episodes, they basically run the same, where we do a little synopsis of the book in the beginning, we give our individual ratings, and then we jump into the best part, which is the spoilers, where we discuss our hated and most loved parts.
If you want to follow along with us, our reading and review schedule will be linked in the description below.
Without further ado,
let's jump into it.
So Kristen and I are still sick.
Yeah, I've been having coughing fits the whole time. You might not see it as much because, editing, but
Yeah.
but it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why maybe the mood's a little low or the sound's a little nasally, it's why. We can't quit it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I think it's been going on a few weeks now that we've been trying to get better, but we'll get there. Hopefully next time around you won't hear us so bad, or maybe we'll be worse. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? The benefit though is that we made it. We're here, we're recording. Every time the sickness seems to hit us, it knocks us out for 2-3 recording sessions, and then we're behind books, and then we're scrambling. It's a fucking mess. So I'll take the good where I can get it.
Yeah. Also, we don't want to miss reviewing these books. These books are good.
Yes.
These are our first books this year that we actually are really, really into.
Finally.
So, I didn't rate this one as high as the other one, but there's a reason for that. But this book is still good in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for what it's worth. But
yeah, it's bringing all of the same love it brought the first
no plot.
around.
No plot. So
yeah, no plot, but great banter and sexual tension.
Yeah.
You got an A+ for me on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I will say though is I love the cover of these books. They're beautiful. This is the second one. The third one matches the same black and white theme, or I'm sorry, the black and fuchsia theme. Whoever designed these, great. We bitch about this all the time. I hate a book that has a cover of a person.
Yeah, can't stand it.
And her other book in this sort of, because I think she has another fantasy one that we wanted to put on our list.
Yeah.
I don't know why the first one has 2 people on it.
Well, I think that's the Goodreads. If you look in Goodreads, I think it's Stars and Shadows or something like that. But the paperback is not like that though.
No, it's like the other ones that are in the series.
Yeah. The other ones are really pretty.
I wish Goodreads would update it to be the most recent, or I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like it. This is where you got to go, or the abstract ones. I don't know. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I do.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to have these 2 people on the cover. If you're gonna do it in the inside and in the end papers or whatever. Don't do it on the cover. I don't like that. I mean, it makes it look cheesy.
Yes.
And I guess sometimes some of these books are cheesy, but these books aren't necessarily cheesy.
No.
So when you do a cheesy cover, it doesn't do the book justice. That's just my opinion. I think people, and if you're gonna do people, I think it should be somewhat kind of almost anime manga type.
I was just about to say that. Don't use real people.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Don't use real people, and don't do AI generated ones either. I don't like that. Do it in the inside if you need to.
I think that using real people or trying to use realism art makes it look too much like those old books you see in the store.
Yeah.
That are the romantic ones.
Cheesy romance, contemporary romance.
We should
books.
read one of those.
I was actually going to ask you. I was on my way to work and I was like, I wonder if we should go pick up one of those contemporary cheesy romance books and read them.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know if I want to mention it to Crystal because she'll go all out with
I
that.
will. But I'll watch you here.
A whole month of them. I'm like, I want to do that.
Maybe not a whole month, but I do want to.
You pick, I pick.
Yeah, that might be kind of fun because I've always seen those books. I'm like, what the fuck is that? But also, so everybody's grandmas be reading those books. So I want to know.
I don't like contemporary romance, so maybe I'll find one that isn't closer to I don't know, something else.
Yeah, because it will lack of course, that fantasy element. There's got to be one that's.
I don't know. They're mostly
never seen one.
Cowboy, Southern Belle.
Fabio.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want that shit. I can't.
I do. I want to read it.
Well,
I want to read it just to make fun of it.
But
yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
I think I do.
Kristen, we were pleasantly surprised though with 1.5 of our monster books. Who knows? That's why you gotta dabble. You gotta taste it a little bit. You know what? I know I don't like that one.
I think I do. I think I know I won't like it. I think I know.
Probably. I'm gonna get the worst one. I'm gonna get a Fabio.
This is what I'm talking about. That's why I kind of hesitated to ask you because I knew you would do that. We were talking about something not that long ago, but I was on BookTok, and maybe I shouldn't have been, but I was, and there was a comment about, or there was a thing about this one girl talking about how there's a pee kink.
Oh no!
And I was like, in the comments, I was reading it, I was just like, I never thought about a book with a pee kink, but there is a book. It's a mafia book. And I don't read those books. So I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, Crystal better not look at this. And then I was like, well, I'm going to tell her. So I sent you a message and I was like, Crystal, there's a pee kink. And then right under, I was says, don't you dare. Don't you dare make me read these books. Oh my God.
I just like to know. I want to know what people are reading. I want to know what people are into. I probably know I'm not going to be into a pee kink, but like, I don't know. If Day was like,
No, I don't care. I don't care.
There's what if he said some shit? He couldn't talk you into it?
No, there's lines, Crystal. Like,
I don't know.
If Day was my fucking cousin, I would be like, this is disgusting. I would immediately be turned off by everything he says.
Listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't be. I'm just saying I want to, like, I want to see. I want to see what all the fuss is. I want to see about it and be like, no.
But do I have to see too?
We are partners in this, are we not?
Apparently, yes. Yes, we are. You're not wrong. But like,
what I read, you read.
That's
how it goes. What I experience, you experience.
You know what? I have a 100 book count this year, so I guess so. I guess I'm reading. Guess I'm reading some PK.
Right? So, you know, I mean, I'm not active. I think I even told you that. Like, look, I'm not actively searching for PK. If I find out it's in my book, I'm still gonna read my book. Be like, okay, let's see where this ride leads.
I think it leads to peeing. Go to the bathroom, not on her.
But like, I want to know why people are into this.
I don't know if I want to do the research.
Like, set it up. I'll be fair. Set it up for me. Let's see what it's all about. And then I'm probably not going to be interested in it, but I still want to see
You are very open-minded.
And I'm always going to preface this fucking incest thing with the fact that it literally stems from Game of Thrones, okay? It's just something I've just ignored. I don't see it.
You did read Mad Apple before Game of Thrones, though.
Yeah, but I do not. To be fair, I do not remember. I don't remember that. I don't remember them being cousins. I don't remember there being a love interest situation. I don't remember any. I blocked it all out. And maybe
I understand why.
That's where I learned to just no. Look, Kristen ignored a whole entire story. If I could just, I could just ignore this little connection.
I ignored half of Glee or Glow, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Glow. I ignored half that book. And I was like, 5 stars. 5 stars. The other part did not exist. Okay?
Exactly. So
it didn't. It was boring. Okay.
It didn't. And you know what? They're not cousins. And Rhaenyra and Daemon, that's not uncle and niece. Those are just two people.
In love.
In love.
Related.
No. Ignored. But anyways, so back to this book.
Yeah.
For what we're here. I'm excited for this one, though.
It's the continuation of that crazy cliffhanger.
Yo.
That revenge fuck.
So good. I'm going to just say it forever and ever. That's the best, like, secret reveal that I've ever read in my entire life.
To a character, not to us. To a character.
Yeah.
Because we knew. And
we did know.
That poor girl.
Yeah, and I feel bad. I know some people have read that and viewed it and were like, that's sexual assault. And I'm here. I see it. I acknowledge, yes, but I'm just going to say I'm part of the problem because I loved the fuck out of it and I make no apologies for it.
If you view it as sexual assault and it happened to you, it's sexual assault.
Yes.
If that happened to me, that was not sexual assault to me. I wanted it. Because she wanted it. She was in his room. She's told him how many times, please, I want it. I think the underlying thing here that she wanted it, but she wanted it with the idea that he didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
She never wanted to tell him that she was the princess. So I think once he used her name, she no longer wanted it. Now she was scared for her life. So at that point, when she was pushing him off, if he continued, then yes.
But I think the argument that they're making is that he went into it with the
Knowing.
purpose
Yeah.
to revenge fuck her, and that in itself is an act of sexual
Yes.
assault. So
yes, but I think she still wanted it.
she did still want it.
She still wanted it because even like, and this is why I say this, because we're in book 2.
Yeah.
In book 2, all this comes to light. So yeah, at the end of that, I would see how yeah. But like reading book 2.
Yeah, I mean, even reading that, I was like, that was good, bravo, man.
Yeah. It's questionable. I guess it's like some people would say it's dubious consent, even even if you want to go into that realm of it.
The problem is with me though, specifically, and I'm willing to acknowledge this, but like when a man is, and I don't know why I like this, but when a man is calling a girl on her bullshit, like for some reason I'm fucking into it, and I know when it started. It's when that fucking where is it? The Kingdom of the Wicked.
Yeah.
The second book. I think it's Kingdom of the Feared.
I love that one.
He gives our man, because I hated the main character, and he gave her the fucking business, and I was like, that's hot. And so now every time I see it, and this is him doing that. I mean, he did it in a fucked up way, but he was like, fuck you lied to me. And, like, he was also sleeping with her under this pretense that she was somebody else, so he feels lied to. So, like, him giving it back to her, I'm like, I kind of like that.
I did. I liked it. I mean, like I said, I guess it's up to you to decide whether or not you view it as sexual assault. It's a fictional book. It didn't really happen. So, I mean, and at the end of it, if, as you read, you'll see that these two people have certain feelings for each other. So, I guess it's all up to you to decide. Interpret, decide if you feel like if you are in that place as a character, you feel like it's sexual assault, then it's sexual assault. Mm-hmm. That's the end of doesn't matter. 100%. It doesn't matter. So like I see it differently. I don't think if it were me, I don't, but I'm ridiculous. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even think I'd run. I'd be like, I fucking run and tell them to come get me. I'm a little ridiculous, so don't listen to me.
Yeah, we're not here to provide you a moral compass. We're just here to tell you whether or not we like
I don't act rational 90% of the time, so
don't.
We're
over here talking about whether or not P-books are interesting. Like, don't come to us for your moral compass, okay?
No, of course, read the content warnings to decide whether or not these books are for you.
100%. And speaking on that, do you want to give the content warnings for this one?
I can. So there are sexually explicit scenes, violence, assaults, and it contains mature language, themes, and content that might not be suitable for all readers. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't say 18 and over. It just says all readers. It doesn't, it depends on what you like. So
yeah, it's not a young adult though.
No.
So it's definitely an adult book.
Yeah.
But so we can get into the synopsis. Basically, so she gets outed as being the princess by Dacre. I don't. Him. And then we move. Now she's assumed a new identity in the other book. Now is it Verena?
I didn't put the character thing. I think it's Verena. Yeah.
Verena. Okay. So she's assumed her princess identity now, and she's on the run. So the book basically, this entire one follows her being on the run. There's from the rebel group that's now completely after her because they know who she is, and from their point of view, at least from the leader's point of view, it looks like she's infiltrated. The princess has infiltrated their camp, so he doesn't quite understand like what her end game is, but he knows that the king is looking for her. They were also looking for the princess too. In the first book, they were looking for her to use her, and so now not only has she infiltrated his camp, but now she's a value to him. So the entire rebel alliance is on the run, or is on the lookout for her to go get her. The king is looking for her, and the king has also put a reward on her head. So now civilians are all looking for her. So essentially she is running through the kingdom. She's moving from the underground hidden kingdom, trying to make it to the southern docks so that she can get out of the kingdom. And that is literally the book. The book is her from her leaving to her getting to the docks, and the shenanigans that happen along the way, which is not a whole lot.
Yeah, there really isn't, like, no plot. I mean, there's practically no magic. I mean, there's minimal magic. It's low fantasy. Yeah. Don't forget their fae. I mean, forget their fae.
Don't forget their fae, because you will.
This is important in this book. The fact that their fae is very important in this book. Lots of betrayal that they have to work through. In my opinion, which I'll talk about more This is more of an inner monologue type of book this time around.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it isn't spoken words to characters. It's more of a thought because there's POV switches, so it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's Verena and Dacre. This same POV switches. Very short book, like 260 pages.
Yeah.
That's practically any of the description I can give to.
Yeah.
Did you want to jump into your ratings?
Yes. I give this book a 4.
I'm glad she likes this one.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I've committed. This book suffers from the same issue as the first one. There is no plot here. If not for the great relationship dynamic between the FMC and the MMC, there's nothing here, and I probably I wouldn't like it because there's nothing here. Miss Renee really put all of her eggs into this basket, and she said this is gonna be the driving force of my book, and she did it. Yep. Like you would think. As we've discussed, there have been many books who have tried this, have gambled on this, and have failed. But for some reason, this fucking book is hitting it out of the park for me. What strikes me in this book, though, is that it feels like this is her first novel or her first set of books. Yeah, it's not. This author has written like 31 books. And this is the newer one because the third one's coming out. Yeah. But what kind of drives me crazy about this book is that it's almost like let me step back. The reason it reminds me of like this is her first shot at writing is because it feels like she doesn't have the confidence to write a more detailed or more dynamic story. Which I think that she has the ability to. I mean, she set the foundation here for something that's really good, but she doesn't expand on anything. And it comes off like she's insecure about her ability to do it. And so that's why it feels novice to me. I'll give an example of this. When we first meet her in the first book, she's a thief. She's living off the streets, and we get a little glimpse into her doing this. I was expecting to have more of this dynamic come up here for her to be able to like get back into her roots, be like thieving on the street, surviving on the street, but now she has a lot more pressure on her than when she originally did. We get none of that. You have like one dynamic of her meeting somebody one time outside of the rebels or her palace, and then it's over, and then she gets found. She gets found so quickly. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And I don't like that. There's a lot more that could have happened here. Give me a side quest. Give me a side scare. Have them take her a little bit. Like, have the king grab her. Not the king specifically. His guards grab her, and they got to fight to get her back. Like, there was none of that. But, you know what? I don't care. Like, a fair rating would be a 3 for this book because there's a lot of... Yeah. Because there's nothing here. Yeah. But I love it, so I don't really give a shit. It's my junk food, and I'm gonna give it that 4.
Rate
I don't
whatever
care.
the fuck you want. Yeah. I'm all for it.
4.
Yeah.
It's the.
I'm surprised you didn't give the first one a 5.
Yeah. The first just because it didn't have anything.
Yeah. I didn't think you care though, honestly, and I'm here for it. I'm all for it.
I'm trying to have some semblance of like. You know, I have a standard, okay? It's not just smut.
I understand. You know what, though? I even considered giving the first one a 5, so that's why I'm surprised you didn't, because I was like, this fucking close. And then I had to be like, there's no plot. Can't give it a 5.
Exactly. That's literally it. And this one, it should be a 3, but I'm going to give it a 4 because I love it. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't care. The spice is a 2. Mm-hmm. It's not as spicy as the first one. I think there's like one scene.
There's very little.
Yeah, and it's not even like he's still good with it. He's still good with them one-liners. In fact, we'll get into it. But the scene is actually weird. It's a different dynamic than any of the other scenes, but it still was good. But it's not spicy.
You know, it gave me what's that Hermione? Not the Breathmin's Battle Scars. What's the other one we read?
Falling for Your Enemy. But that's the actual one that's coming out.
Because remember when they go out to the field and then they go to a hotel or they go. Yes. It gave me that specific.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
It brought me back to that moment.
Yeah, it's like a cuddly moment. Yeah. It's a good moment. It's a warm moment, but also he still has a filthy mouth in it, which is just like it's great. It's wonderful. But yeah, so 4 out of 5.
So I give it a 3 out of 5 for the exact reasons Crystal was saying. It lacked a lot of substance. Which it doesn't really bother me if the substance is like practically there, but there is none. Like, everything she was before is now non-existent in this book. Besides that, now she's just a runaway princess. She reminds me of Snow White running through the forest when she got sent away from the queen. Yeah. And the hunters are coming to get her. It's like, this and that, no. It's like, what happened to my fucking Nira? What happened to that girl? Uh-huh. Like, I felt like she was... I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't the same runaway princess. I felt like it was something completely different. And maybe she was panicked. I don't know. Maybe because he fucked with her head. Now she can't think clearly. I don't know. If that's the case, I feel like we should have had more of an explanation on why she wasn't thinking clearly. But she runs into somebody really quickly. Like, she gets found really easy. And it's like she's immediately, I wouldn't say trusting, but it's almost like I don't know. I just felt like she trusts a lot quicker than I would have. Yeah. Considering the circumstances that she was found. Like I said, there's a lot more inner monologue in this book, so, which is great because it lets us know what's going on, even if the characters themselves don't know, because when you get those two POV switches, you know what this other person's thinking, and so when they are reunited, you already have a sense of how they both feel, because it was a huge betrayal in the first book, so, like, while they're separated, which I like the idea that they're both thinking over things while they're apart, so they have a lot of time to realize and come to the conclusion of how they feel for each other, for their fathers, for their kingdom, for, you know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on, which in my opinion, that's the only plot there is. Still another banter book. It's all about the banter. That's what it should be. It's all about the banter. That's what we should put on a shirt.
It's all about that. We should. That's a good slogan.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of magic, and there's no world building. Even though she's out in the world, there's really nothing. The magic more comes towards the ending of the book. There's like spurts of it throughout, but it's very minimal. Yeah, and my biggest thing about this book is I feel like by the time anything like of substance happens that I'm getting really interested in, it's at the end. And then the book just ends, and then I'm like, now I have to wait? I read this book last year, and I had to wait until this year on the 18th for the book to come out, and I was utterly mad. Yeah. It made me so mad because I feel like I got nothing really out of this book, other than just this could have been just this could have been put onto the first book. I mean, I get why she ended it when she did on the first book. I love that ending. Yeah. But like,
this could have been mashed together with
like
the
some
third
kind of
or something. Yeah.
Or made it just a duology.
Yeah. But that ending, like, the ending was a perfect place to
end. On the first book, I get it. Yeah. But, like, this whole book could have been just put into the next book. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of spice in this book. There was a few things that were said, and I want to say them so bad, but they're spoilers. Because his mouth is not only dirty, but he is vicious towards Aaron. Yes. Yes. Oh my God, he hates that fucker.
Yeah, he does.
And I love that they hate each other. Yes. I love it. I love the hate in this book. But the sexual tension is still practically there. Obviously, because now they hate each otate. They hate each other before, they hate each other now. It's even more so. So, like, it's really fucking there. And she's finally saying some shit back. Yeah. Because before she wasn't. She was just enjoying it. Like, she was just, like...
I don't blame her.
She was shocked in the first book. Now she's used to his mouth. Yeah. And now she says some shit back. And I'm like, ooh, girl, you're giving it back to him. So I love it. I love that she is. She's finally giving it back. Yeah. But yeah, those are my ratings.
Fair. I think Kristen is the more honest reviewer in this one. That is the more fair. That's the more accurate one.
You know, we take turns in that.
We do.
Someone, like, I can be in denial sometimes.
We each have our guilty pleasures. That we're just like, and this is mine. This is like all my guilty pleasure all wrapped up into one.
That's why I said when I couldn't wait for you to read this book, I was like, this is Crystal's jam.
Yeah. Yep. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go to the Goodreads one. Goodreads is 3.4. You see the reviews. Yeah, you want 1-star reviews for cracking me the fuck up. But the Goodreads review is 3.47 with 29,000 reviews. So about a 4.
Oh, these are funny though.
I know, they're great. So we'll jump right into them. Yasmin says this could have been an email. Girl, you're not wrong.
Oh, she's 100% right. That is the best review.
It is the best review. She got 131 likes for that too. Absolutely spot on. 100% right.
My favorite.
I'm such an old person. I have to like make these bigger so I can see them. Jesus Christ. Okay. Taylor Nelson says, why was this book even released? It was 200 pages and ended on another unfulfilling cliffhanger. The author could have combined this with the first book or delayed the release until it was finished. This was underwhelming, and I'll be DNFing the series and the author. That's rough.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I mean,
to DNF. I mean, they're bitter too that they had to wait.
They are bitter. Yeah. But you know what?
They have every right to be.
You have every right to be.
Because I was bitter too, man.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I knew about it because you told me.
Yeah. But you also don't have to wait much longer.
Yeah, I don't. And I probably would have been upset. I wouldn't have even read this had it not been coming out.
I'm a sucker to fucking myself over, so.
Yeah, you like to do that.
I didn't know though.
You've been giving me books and I'm like, Kristen, this isn't done.
Well, I didn't know either. I just got into this. I'm like, oh, it's done. It's finished. And then when I was like, this is not finished.
Yeah, but there's something so good about these cliffhangers though. Like, they're great cliffhangers if you're okay with cliffhangers.
And if you have the next book.
Yeah,
because I like it if I have the next book.
Yeah. The final one. Nay says, all those giving out 5 stars to this book, I'm watching you, and when I catch you, we're going to chat. As the title says, she's just a haunted heir. They ran away and they stayed in the inn with one bed, obviously. Despite the boring book, do you know what's worse? Her begging to be laid. This is where the journey ends for me by. And I cut out some things because they were spoilers, but again, you're not wrong.
No, they're not wrong.
Actually, I kind of like that he made her beg. Also,
I don't know. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to each his own. Some people like being peed on, so.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, again, this is no different really than the first one. You know, there's still no plot. It's still just based on banter. Mm-hmm. If this toxic relationship or toxic man is not your thing, this is not going to be a book for you. And it's not going to get better. Well, it didn't get better with the second one. I don't think it's going to get any better with the third one. So you might as well just check out.
Yeah. I think you should have checked out. If you don't like the first one, don't read the second one. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the first one, so otherwise I wouldn't have read the second one. But hey, not everybody's gonna like the same books, and that's okay. You know, don't be hating too much. Yeah. You know,
I mean, you can. And we don't judge.
You can talk shit. We can talk shit. We can all talk shit. Some of it's funny talking shit, but at the end of the day, don't be yucking somebody's yum. You know? You know.
Yeah. And to be fair, as we said, the 1-star reviews aren't wrong too. So it's funny to see you guys out here. You're spitting facts. It's true.
Yeah, and see, that's the same reason. Like we've talked about this before. Their reason for 1 stars is exactly why we love it, and that's fine. There's times that I'll 1-star something, and somebody would be saying the same shit, and they're just like eating it up. I'm like, perfect. Yeah. Because the book wasn't meant for me, it's meant for you. Yeah. Yeah. If all books were meant for me, some people would be highly disappointed on the book world. Because I got some deranged shit.
Yep. Yep. All right, guys. Well, that'll probably wrap it up for the review section, and we can jump into our favorite part, which is the spoilers. So, actually, Kristen makes a perfect segue into my first spoiler, my first favorite part, because Dacre, whatever the fuck his name is, fantasizing about killing her dad is just wonderful. He says, like, I wanted him to beg for my mercy and struggle for breaths under my grip as I tighten my hand around his throat. Like, literally, this man is just sitting there like, man, I can't wait till I'm fucking strangling this man. Oh, I loved it. I don't know why.
I love it too.
But we're over here talking about deranged books. It's like, I'm like, ooh, that's so hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love it.
The next one too is when so she's away with Aaron and he is coming and he steals her back.
Yeah. That's a good part.
The back and forth banter is great, but then she says like something. He calls her by her name, and she's like, "Don't call me that." He's like, "What the fuck? Don't call you by your name." Yeah. I don't know why. It made me laugh out loud.
It was pretty funny because I don't think she realizes how stupid that sounds too.
Yeah,
she's just angry.
She's just angry at him. Yeah. Don't fucking call me by my name. And then after that too, she demands to go back to Aaron. He's like, "Yeah, over my dead body, I'm bringing you back to him."
Yeah.
Because he's like listening to, we need to go find food. We need to go find shelter. She's like, no. When Aaron and him meet in the forest, And I love this fucking part.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
And Aaron is like, yeah, they're fighting. He's like, if you would have just brought her back to the commander like you were supposed to, we wouldn't be any of this. So I don't know, when you were off doing whatever you were doing.
Yes.
And he's like, fucking her. And he goes, what? He's like, I fucked her. And he's like, that's what we were doing. I was fucking her. I fucked her until she came and called out my name in the softest little whisper.
And what does Aaron say?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's what gets me. That's what
I just had it.
Right after that, Aaron goes, I know that sound.
Oh, that's right. He does say
and
that.
He's like, what the fuck? And he gets so mad. He's like, but it wasn't your name she was calling.
That's right.
It pissed him off. He was about to kick his ass.
I don't know why I didn't include that.
Yeah, that whole scene is one of my favorite parts.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I love that one, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Just this shit he says.
Yeah.
It's fucking, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Like, I love him.
Oh, I love that. When I was doing that, I was like, ooh, it's gonna get good. I love it.
Let's see what else do I have. Oh, okay. This is a kind of a side one. It's a little one, but when his dad then comes and meets with Aaron and them in the forest, and his dad tells Aaron to go and find her, and my man like steps in his way, and he's like, that's not gonna work for me. Like, and the reason I love this scene in this part particular, because this is the first time that he's actually standing against not only his dad but the entire rebellion. This is the moment that he's like, no, actually, you're not gonna do any of that. And he doesn't give her up, and of course they're like,
they're fighting and shit.
They're fighting, and then the dad's like, we'll just fucking take him away. Like, he's obviously against us now. And, like, I love that. And of course, the crescendo of all of this is that as they're beating him up to go arrest him, our girl comes in like a fucking wrecking ball with this massive amount of power and just, like, explodes everybody out of the way. And I think one of them ends up dying. I think... Does he kill that one, or does she?
He kills them. Okay, that's what establishes he's against the rebellion.
That he chose
it's
her.
Like his... It's like the rebel leader's main dude, right-hand man. He kills.
Yeah.
He like knew him from a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because this book is so short, I will refrain from saying any of my other ones unless you say them.
Okay.
So I'll leave the rest of the other ones.
Because I think we have pretty much the same.
We probably do.
Yes, when Dacre and Rena reunite, their banter is top tier because I was waiting for the whole time. I was like, I cannot wait for them to come back because what she says to him was wonderful.
Yeah.
Because she says something along the lines because you said like he's got to go back. She wants to go back to Aaron, and he's like, no, you're not going fucking back to Aaron. And she's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And he gasped, did he touch you? And she's like, what does it fucking matter to you? Anybody could touch me now. Like you can't tell me. And he goes, well, the next time I do something to you, she's like, that's never going to happen. And the next time I yell anybody's name, it's not going to be yours. It'll be Aaron's. And it pissed him off. He held her up against the tree and he's like, don't you ever fucking say that shit to me again. I was like, ooh. And she was super into it.
Yeah.
She like the whole time she was thinking, I want this dude. Even though she's not. She's purposely saying shit to piss him off.
She knew what she was doing.
Oh yeah, she wanted it.
Yeah, she did.
She fucking wanted to hurt him. So yeah, that whole Aaron scene. There's a part where they meet up and they're back into, I think it's like they're back in the hotel room for the first time after not seeing each other. So they're back, they're the one bedroom hotel room. Mm-hmm. They're the first night. It gave me Hermione vibes all over again because he's masturbating in the shower.
Yes.
I thought of it that. I was like, I can't remember which Hermione that was.
It was the same one.
The same one that this whole book gave me those vibes the whole time. But yeah, he's masturbating in the shower and he's purposely moaning her name. He knows she's right near the door. Yes. He don't fucking care. In fact, he's envisioning that she's getting off to him getting off. Mm-hmm. And then the next morning, so like obviously he does what he does and he goes into bed with her. She's pretending not to be awake because she's like, I heard him. I don't want to. Whatever. Anyways, they wake up the next morning and he's like holding her tightly and she's like, let go of me. And he's like, not yet. And he's like touching her, caressing her, loving on her. And she's just like, more. And he's like, no. He's like, before I do anything with you, you're going to tell me you want it and it's going to be because you want it with me. Uh-huh. And she's like, you fucking asshole. He's like, I don't care what you fucking call me. Like, I don't remember exactly what he says. He's like, I don't care what you fucking call me, but you are gonna be moaning my name during yeah. So I'm just like, this fucking dude,
100%.
Yeah, and then he says, yeah, you can call me whatever you want, but next time I touch you, you're gonna be begging me for it. She's like, that'll never happen. He's like, you begged me for it before when you were wet, blah 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 blah, and he's like lowering his hand to her and doing all this other stuff. And she's getting so bitter. She gets so mad. Finally, they end up doing the deed and stuff like that towards the end. But the cliffhanger was probably like, I was mad at this cliffhanger, but I enjoyed the cliffhanger because obviously now they're trying to run away with each other. There's parts leading up to that too that I also enjoyed, but I wouldn't call them my favorite parts. So I'm gonna leave them out because maybe you'll mention them. But the way the ending was, I felt like kind of fucking upset.
Yeah.
Because even though I liked it, I was still upset. Obviously, you knew they were going to be betrayed at some point. They're sitting in this village, and I think this what kind of makes me mad about it. They're staying in this village for an extended period of time, walking around. She's making him take her.
It was so dumb.
I was pissed off at that, and it ends up backfiring.
It's like, of course, you know somebody's gonna fucking see you.
And so she gets guilty because obviously they say you were fucking stupid to allow her to come out and walk around with you. Like, yeah, obviously that's dumb. But even though the cliffhanger was cliffhanging and it was fucking wonderful, there were so many parts of it that pissed me off, and that was part of the reason why I gave it a 3-star too. Because where was that princess that had that self-preservation to be able to have the smarts to not get caught in the first book, but then does stupid things to get caught in the second book?
Yeah, it's like she was too clouded by the D.
Yeah.
And by like being so antagonistic against him because she was upset. That's why she went. Yeah. Because he teased her and she's like, well, I guess we're fucking going to the ducks
And
now.
that's the thing too, and she even said it. She's like, this is probably even smart, but I'm gonna do it. So it's like, come on, girl, like. So even though I liked the cliffhanger, it was like a love-hate relationship with that cliffhanger. But that's the ending is the big reason why I felt a 3 on this book. But I'd like to talk about because I did like it. Her powers manifested and all that stuff, and Dacre tried to like save her, but she ends up trying to save him, and neither one of them save each other. She ends up giving herself over
and also pushing him away. With the water.
Yeah. So like he ends up going on the ship because that's what the King's Guards do. Well, I don't know if he ends up leaving, but like they put him on the ship to tell the captain that he has to leave. So maybe he escapes. I don't fucking know. We'll find out in the third book. But she ends up going back to the king. And that is so fucking crazy. And it's so shitty because now he's like doing the same shit he did to her before. And he's trying to uncover her magic because now there's actual reports of her having magic. Yeah, so like it's a crazy intense cliffhanger that I did enjoy because it was a really good cliffhanger. But it was a love-hate relationship with that. So it's also in my hated section, but it's in my love section as well. But yeah, those are my... I have more things to discuss, but that's...
I have one more favorite, and it's kind of long, but I want to say it anyways because it's so good. But I'm going to preface it by saying that, like, I love him so much because he made a point at this... Once he lost her, he was like, when I get this girl back, I'm not playing any more games. Like, I'm going to, like... She's going to be mine. I'm going to be devoted to her. I'm going to act accordingly whenever she can forgive me. And he's even, at one point before I think it was before he took that shower, that he was trying to apologize to her. And she's like, no. We don't need to do this right now. And he was really trying to, but she shunned him off. But anyway, so they go out, and then he goes and he secures the captain. And then she wants to go to the beach. And they have this really kind of cute beachy moment where, well... They had a moment before they went out where he was telling her basically that like he says to her, like, do you really think I was going to put you on a ship and like let you sail away from me?
Yeah.
And she was like, but your people are here, your rebellion is here. And he's like, and yet you won't be. And like already I'm in it. And then so they have that conversation, they go to the beach and she brings it back up and she says that you're going to regret leaving. And he says, I regret so many things, Verena, but leaving this world for you won't be one of them. So that's beautiful.
It is. It was really nice.
But so all of this is leading to the big crescendo of this is when they get back from the beach, they have their moment. Yeah. And when I tell you, 1 minute this man is spitting straight filth. And then the next minute, he's fucking breathing poetry out. And I'm going to read the entire thing. because I love it. So when they're having sex, he's like getting her prepped. He's like, clothes are off, they're on the bed, they're hot and heavy, they're kissing. He says, I have been tortured with dreams of touching you again. I've been tortured with the memories of the first time, haunted by thoughts of what I would have done, of the way I should have worshipped you. I should have fallen to my knees for you as I will now. Like salt in the sea, you have become ingrained in every part of me, and I have been drowning in my regrets. Your entire existence has been dedicated to preparing your place as ruler of our kingdom, yet you have never been revered. It is a privilege I am unworthy of, but I would surrender every breath to worship you, if only you would grant me the honor. So he says all this. He says this beautiful, like, romantic thing, and then when they start the act, he says, fuck my mouth and show me how bad you want me to be the one who worships at your feet. Like, the dynamic of this man.
And that is what makes him a perfect MMC.
Perfect. He's like, he's trouble. Like, he's trouble. He's a menace. I fucking love it. But I love this change in him. Yeah. That he went from being a complete ass to, like, revenge fucking her. And then at the end, he's like, this was his, I love you. Like, I'm devoted to you. I should have done this the right way. I should have worshipped you. I'm gonna worship you. Now fuck my face.
Yeah. I mean, how else can you be worshipped if not that way?
I love it. He was not, like, he could have left it there. But that's not him.
No.
He's like, I gotta throw my filth in there just a little bit. Just to get the edge.
You can't be spotless when you're fucking around. Like, that'd be dirty.
When I tell you I have so many lines for if we come back and do our
Smash and Pass. So do I.
Like, I'm here for this guy.
He fulfills all those Smash and Passes.
He does.
It all smashes, to be honest.
Yeah, that one right there. You want me to be the one that worships at your feet. Like, smash instantly.
See, and it's this part is the reason why, and I probably shouldn't care about, like, using this as a way to kind of absolve him from the ending of the first book, but to me, that's what does it. It's this. Yes. Because he says he's haunted by it. He hates himself for what happened. Yeah. He didn't, and I really wholeheartedly believe it as it was happening. That's why I was just like, there's more to this than what he just did. Because even she was going through the whole book, and this is parts of discuss too. She was going through the whole book in this one thinking, but he even told me that his dad wants me. I was supposed to be delivered to his dad. He didn't deliver to me to his dad. He told me to run. Mm-hmm. So it was like, even though it is definitely a revenge betrayal fuck, because he was hurt, but I don't even know if he intentionally, because you don't know his POV in that part. You don't know if he meant to say it as a hurtful thing. Mm-hmm. You don't know if he meant to say Princess and Verena as a way to hurt her. Mm-hmm. He could have just said to be like, I do know, and I'm still fucking you. Mm-hmm. Like, see, I still want to be with you. Like, that's how I took it, and that's probably why a lot of people are like, no, that you shouldn't take it that way. But I took it as, that's why it didn't bother me so much, because especially with this part, reading this right here, I took it as the way, and it kind of makes me feel validated. Because when he was doing that, I always felt like it was his way of saying, I know who you are. Mm-hmm. Not like, I'm going to fuck you and throw you out. Even though that's what he did, I don't think in the back of his mind that was his intention at all. I don't even know if he would have said her name during sex on purpose or if it just slipped out because he was in the... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, I think because the way he is in his head and what comes out of his mouth is not necessarily the same. Yeah. And so I think... he means intentionally to be good, and then he just ends up being filthy. Yeah. So, like, that's why I had a hard time with that ending. But then when she was just, like, scared and frightened and pushed him away, now immediately he gets defensive. Yeah. And that's why he says the dirty shit that he does. Yeah. And the rude, toxic shit that he does.
Much like Draco.
Yeah.
The moment vulnerability comes out, they're mean.
Yeah, they're mean. They put those walls up, and that's what he was doing. But it took this book, with them being away, for them both to see... that they don't need to be putting those walls up. Every time they're vulnerable, they need to actually, like...
just be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I like that he even says it, too, because when they first get back together, she's, like, angry at him, and then he starts spitting back at her, and then he's like, you know what? We both hurt each other. Yeah. Like, we both betrayed each other, and we both just need to understand that and then move on. Yeah. And build from that. Like, you didn't... you know, you can have your animosity, I can have my animosity, but we're in this together at the end of the day.
Yeah. And it took that for her to be in danger and to be possibly captured... because there were so many times when she almost was taken, and he was like, fuck this shit. Yeah. Like, no, she's mine. She's mine. I'm going to treat her right this time. And so, he is haunted by what happened the first time around. He didn't like it. He didn't feel like it was the way she should have been. That should have been her first time and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, like, that's, in my opinion, why I felt like that first time, it validated, like, reading this, it validated why I felt like the first time wasn't as all that it seemed.
Yeah.
But still pretty much
know,
fucked up though.
Yeah.
It still was. It doesn't take it away from it, but I don't think he meant to be.
You know what? But even if he did, I want to say, I agree with you, and I could see your point of view, and I'm just going to throw in my tidbit that even if it was meant to be a revenge fuck and just throw her out, this apology
made up for it.
Fine. You're going to tell me you've been haunted, you've been thinking about me, you want to worship at my feet, like, you want to spit all this romantic poetry at me, and then you're running away with me, you killed your own rebellion for me, like, you're ready, you are here. You've decided I fucked up. I'm here. All's forgiven.
Oh yeah, he's like he got rid of his mom's dagger.
Yeah,
just to like I think sins are absolved here.
100%.
That's just my opinion. But I wasn't. Yeah. I was willing to do it without that. So whatever.
Yeah. But for all those girls that need a little bit of the justification, it's here.
That's fine.
You got it. It's right here.
You just need more. That's all.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yep.
So there's also another things I'd like to add on. Why is everybody's mom dead?
It's so funny. I thought the exact same thing. And it really was like, okay, it's his mom. All right. Yeah. And then it's her mom. You're like, okay. It's when Aaron's mom. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it's like, and on top of that, add every one of their fathers are pieces of shit trying to be controlling and powerful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, you got her dad is the king. His dad is the rebel leader. And then Aaron's dad is the commander of the rebel leader. Like, and they're all trying to gain for power and do this crazy shit. And it's like, and they're all assholes. It's like, this is what happens when women just aren't around.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's
like, is that the point we're trying to make?
That's the point we're making.
We already know.
Men turn into power-hungry bastards when their women are gone.
I even put in here, I'm like, these guys just need to stop being so emotional.
Yeah, they do.
Because they're all over the place with their emotions. You need to calm it down.
Mm-hmm.
They're being testistical, whatever, some fucking thing I saw.
Yeah.
They're being testy. And then also, you gotta remember they're Fae, so Dacre and Rhaena were like just talking about something, saying some vows, and then they didn't mean to, and now they're mates.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was kind of random.
Unlocked their mating bond or something like that.
That was really random. I mean,
and it's so random because none of this was explained. In fact, so you get the one mention of them being Fae, and then here's the other thing where you're like, oh yeah, they're Fae because they're mates.
Yeah, like it just was just thrown in there.
There's no real conversation about it.
No, and now their magic is intertwined. They can feel each other's magic. She can't feel it until he's close. Why her, not him? I don't know. Maybe it's because of all the trauma she was, and so that's her way of saving herself or from the king. I don't know. Maybe her power hides.
I don't know. It's nice to have answers instead of guesses.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. So yeah, their magic is like linked to each other, and that's how she kind of knew he was lingering about in the forest because she started feeling her magic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which was, I thought that was pretty cool, but like,
I did like that.
I still didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, same. So many questions there. I also have a thing to discuss. So, I just wish that there was a little bit more going on here other than just what was being served. Like, even though I gave it a 4, I still wish that, in my heart of hearts, that there was more going on with Aaron.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to be together. I don't need this, but I wanted that little edge for their, like, hate situation. So I want Aaron and her to have been flirting a little bit more, getting a little bit closer. I don't like the betrayal aspect of him because it never really even came to fruition. It was just like this. I was just told that that's what he was going to do. But, like, he was saying other things to Verena. So I don't really know if he was going to do it. I assume so, though, because then he was arguing with... the
dads and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, but I wanted there to be, like, a little, like, love triangle going on. Like, I wanted them to have more... For her to almost be, like, hate fucking Aaron because she's upset about what happened. And then that triggers Day. And, like, you could have made it something really good right here. You could have stirred the pot a lot right here. And it felt like a wasted opportunity because it felt like you were leading me in that direction. Yeah. Like, he was being sweet, and he was like, oh, I'll massage your ankle, and I'll do these things, and he liked her before, so you built all this for it to happen, and then nothing happened, and I felt like that was a wasted opportunity.
It was such a short book, I don't even know if she would have even tried to be able to do it in that short. She would have had to do it a whole another 100 pages.
Well, that's what I want.
I don't think she was going to. I don't think she wanted to. I think she was even sick of writing I think the author was just like, this is great the way it is. I don't want to write it anymore.
I don't like it. I mean, I do like it because I gave it a 4.
You don't like that it didn't happen.
I don't like that there's just not like more. And then we have the scene where she goes to the village and she's in the village and she meets that we now know is a rebel guy who like did his service with the rebels. Like, yeah, I want more. What's going on here? Like, can she meet more people? Can I have more of his backstory? Like, what happened to him? Yeah, I know he got taken out back. Are his kids cool? Is his wife still alive? Yeah. Like, you gave me tastes of like samples of things, and then I don't think they're coming back. I don't think we're gonna learn about them in book 30.
that was nothing. We don't need to know about any of that.
There's so many questions. Like, what do you mean he served the rebel line, and then he just has this? I'm off on this side quest on this other story, but like, I have questions.
I do too, but I learned that we're not getting them.
No, we're not.
This is that type of book that's just not intricately woven. It's just like, hey, this happens, but look at these two people having a fucking crazy ass conversation about jealousy.
But Holly, I believe in you. I believe that you can write an intricate story.
I think she's a little worried that it might not go as good as she thinks it is.
Girl.
I kind of agree with you. I think she's hesitant about really doing that world building and that background plot. Like, I think she needs to work on the main plot, though, before we start getting into side characters, because that main plot is still lacking.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then also, I don't think I mentioned this in the last one, because it's not in this one, but I do want to bring it up. Like, Kai and Ren seem like they have something going on. Like, I have so many questions.
I'm hoping
and nothing is happening.
I was hoping that the Kai and Ren story would be in the next one, because where we stand right now, where she's with the king and he is possibly being held captive, I hope Kai and Ren decide. Because when the king goes back and talks to them, I'm hoping Kai and Ren decide to take up.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then this book needs to be a large book.
It does need to be a large book. And I would like a Ren POV, so we get that POV from the camp, we get his POV, we get our main character's POV.
I keep looking every day to see if there's a page number listed on Kindle, because you're not going to be able to get this book on hardcover or paper unless you buy it directly from the author, because I looked to, like, not that long ago, but Kindle still only does e-reader, so there is no paper. I've been trying to get a paperback, but yeah, Kindle Unlimited, I know there's some kind of controversy right now about Kindle Unlimited, but Kindle Unlimited will have the Rival Crown out on the 18th for free to read, but I still don't see page numbers. So I keep looking. I'm like, if it's under 400, I'm going to be like, this girl is fucked us over.
You know what, though? If you're giving me this, if you're giving me more of this, now they're away from each other. So now I've got this building tension. Like, if you can maintain this, then I'm seeing another 3-4 in my future. But
I agree. I think I'll still enjoy it as a 3 or 4. She'd have to drastically, because she's really good at her banter, and if she keeps pulling that out of her pocket, I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'll give it a 5 unless she really... Like, everything we're lacking in these two books, she'd have to put it in the third book, and that book would have to be massive.
Yeah, agreed.
To make up for all the lacking that she did in these books. I don't think
agreed.
I don't think it's coming. Yeah.
But I like her smuts so much that I am ready to read another series. And she does, as we mentioned in the last one, she does have another series out that is complete. And I think it's like 5 books.
Stars and Shadows, I think. Yeah.
So I would like to give her stuff more. There's not a lot of books that I'm like, I fucking love your smut and your sexual attention. There's only been one other before this, and it was a fan fiction. It was Breath Mints and Battle Scars. This is giving me those same vibes because it's that same toxic, hate, like punishing kisses and shit like that. Like, it's the same. And so I'm here for this, and I'm ready. So I like her as an author. I'm ready to read more of her smut and see if we can actually, if we can build up some world around that. Yo, you'd be solid.
Yeah, I don't know if those other books, because I've heard this is their better version.
Yeah, I also saw the rating for the other ones, and they're not very high, but...
I guess we'll find out.
It's okay. It's alright. I'm gonna give you a chance.
Yeah.
Holly, I believe in you. Your smut and your banter is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really good.
But so yeah, with that being said, I guess that concludes our, what is this? The Hunted Heir?
The Hunted Heir. Don't forget, Rival Crown is the next book. It will be out on the 18th. I don't know when this is going to be out on YouTube, but yeah, the 18th, so it might already be out. Yeah, I would, if you're into these two books, I would highly recommend getting it, so that way you can read it and get rid of that cliffhanger that's in your head and go into the next book, because goddamn, I hate these cliffhangers.
I know.
I hate them. I love them, but I hate that I'm left on the cliffhanger for like a year.
Yeah, a couple days or a week is okay, but a year is tough. I couldn't.
The good thing about it though, these were such small books that rereading them right before the next book came out, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed because the second time I read it, I enjoyed rereading it, and I knew I was gonna read them quickly. Yeah. So like the fact that was the thing, it didn't really bother me that I had to reread. So yeah. But sometimes these books be like 500-600 pages, maybe even more, and they're 5 books, and the book comes out. 6th book comes out. It's like 2 years from now. I'm like, I'm gonna have to reread all those books.
Yeah, we're looking at you. Played a Prisoner.
Played a Prisoner from Blood and Ash. Like I can go on.
Yeah.
The Fourth Wing. Yeah, I heard the Fourth Wing. Rebecca Yarros. I haven't read any of those books because it's not finished. But I heard like there's like a good 2 years or something wait on those books.
No, I saw a TikTok the other day too that was talking about how it's not good that readers don't read books that they wait until the series comes out, because that's how you get the books, is by reading the first one, or else there is no other one. And I get that point, but like I'm not built for that. Those of you who are built for that, you do that. But like I have the memory of a goldfish, and so I'm not going to remember anything. I don't have the time to reread an entire 6-book series just to get the last one. I just don't.
I will only do that if the books are good. Yeah. So, like, if I read the book and I like it, I'll get to the next book. But, like, if I read the book and it's just like, I'm going to be honest, ACOTAR was one of those. If ACOTAR was not completed to the way it was, because I got into it when all the books that are out now are all out, because you mentioned it to me. So I read it. That first book was not that great for me. That great. I was actually fucking irritated by it. Yeah. And half of the second book, too, like, I wasn't really into it. I think of course, until Reese shows up. But, like, I don't know if I would have kept reading them. Yeah.
Well, and that's also how I feel about Played Prisoner. Like, I was really into it, and then we cut off, and then I had to reread all these fucking books again, and then the ending. But then you get to the ending, the last book fucking sucks, and you're like...
Yeah, I didn't really like that last book.
I don't know if it was the last one or 2. I don't remember.
Gleam was the best one.
Gleam, and then...
Glow was kind of boring. I think... that was the one you didn't like, but I enjoyed because half of the book was good.
And half of the book was his revenge tour.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that one was...
You wouldn't have
I didn't like that one, and I didn't like the last one. Yeah. So that's the problem with this. This is why we like to just read them, because I don't want to reread through 4 books to get to the last 2 that suck. Yeah. But that's a personal preference. Sorry if that's a controversial take, but, that's where we are. And, yeah, I am ready for the Rival Crown. So follow us on the social medias. Instagram, Spotify's, TikTok. No, we're not really on TikTok.
Well, I don't know if we're really on anything anymore.
We're occasionally on Instagram, and we are on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, I haven't been posting anything. I was posting religiously for a while, then I just fucking stopped. I got 100 book goal this year, guys. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be on Instagram for very much, if anything at all. So
I think my life schedule will be opening up a little bit in the fall. So I will have more time. So we will eventually be there. So just like clock in now. Yeah. So when we start appearing, you're good to go. You're set. But yeah, we're always here on YouTube every Friday at 5.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
We'll see you later. Bye.